One game I think that a lot of people have circled is the game up at Eastside. You've
Yes.
got Woodlan at Eastside. You're talking smaller schools, but these two teams have a lot of speed. They play an entertaining brand of football, and if you're Woodlan, you're talking about a team that's only lost last year, was in semi-state all the way up at Whiting in the snow.
I'm still cold from covering that game.
14-7, a game they very well could have won, and we could have been talking about a team that played in the 2A state championship. They returned 18 starters this year. Tons of speed, specifically for the ACAC conference. What do you like about Woodlan heading into this game with Eastside?
Well, they're still young. We keep talking about, and they're all these guys are juniors. Justin Durkis and Jack Rhodes and Trayvon McCarter. These guys are all juniors, and Coach Haydock's just thrilled to have these guys. He's excited with bringing back 18 starters. They are the favorite in the ACAC. I mean, maybe Adams Central they're lurking, but I think Woodlan, with their athleticism and experience, is far and above the best team on paper in the ACAC. It's a tremendous challenge to go to Eastside. Connor Dove back for his 12th season, seemingly.
Yeah.
So, and
how many years has he started out there?
I had to check some eligibility thing, but no, he's a tremendous quarterback. And I watched Eastside. They were out of St. Francis over the summer, practicing with Homestead and Lures and DeWanger. They held their own. They got some big guys up front. They have some talent. Connor Dove's a very physical, strong quarterback who can throw. They have some athletes on the edge. P.J. Dean's brothers out there, wide receiver, DB. So they have some athletes, and I think those are the two favorites in their respective conferences, or at least the division of the NECC, because you can't technically win the conference, but that's another story. But yeah, they're the favorites of their conferences. A tremendous challenge for Woodlan. Other than maybe Adams Central, that could be their biggest challenge of the regular season.
Yeah, Keizan Gerard at running back. I think he's a guy that, they started out last season at tight end, moved to running back, and really blew up the second half of last season. I think he's a guy that starts at running back at the beginning of this season. We're going to be talking about him every Friday.
Yeah, it's a fun name to say.
Keizan Gerard. Yeah. Watch for it. Jacob Thompson is one of those big bodies. And they got a couple of 6'5", 270, 300-pound guys on the line both ways that are going to, I think, present some trouble for Woodlan just based on their physicality and their size.
Yeah, I think that's a good point because Woodlan, while they have a lot of athleticism, are not overly big.
Right.
So that is going to be a tremendous challenge going up there to face Eastside, who I think is more physically imposing up front. But Woodlan probably has the edge on the outside. But it'll be a good strength versus strength kind of game on Friday.
A couple of other games that kind of caught my attention. Busco at Lakeland. I think people are waiting to see if Busco reemerges as that super powerhouse as far as the NECC goes. You got New Haven at Heritage.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I don't know what to expect from Heritage,
Yeah, Nico Tagula's coming over after many years as an assistant at Carroll. We'll see what he's got coming there. You've also got Belmont at Adams Central. That's a one-point game last year. That's a rivalry game. And both those teams, we didn't know it at the beginning, but both those teams went on to have absolutely fantastic seasons. Both really hit hard by graduation. It'll be interesting to see what both of those teams have coming out.
Yeah, that was one of those games. That was when week one last year. They were like, yeah, we'll try to get out there. But at the end of the year, we were like, man, that was one of the best games of the year.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Both teams kind of reloading. New coach for Belmont, but we'll see where they're at. That should be a good one.
South Bend Riley's also at Leo. That's a game I think we want to see what Leo has this year based on, being hit hard by graduation. They've been able to kind of keep things rolling under Jared Souter.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what they have this season. And then Northrop at Homestead playing for the 8 millionth time in a row. Those two teams know each other extremely well. I think Northside has a set of talented guys when you take a look at specifically Garrett Shanley at the quarterback position, 6'5" lefty, mobile, obviously can throw the ball with his scholarship to University of Cincinnati for baseball. And then at Homestead, they've got Kazai back. They've got their entire offensive line back and a lot of playmakers, maybe not necessarily numbers and starters, but a lot of playmakers, Matt Anderson, Moses Gerardo, those guys on defense.
Definitely. Watching Homestead on Friday, you forget just how mobile Drew Kazai is. He had 3,500 yards of total offense last year, and he threw the ball tremendously, had 30 passing touchdowns. He had those great wide receivers, but he's got the legs to run. I think you'll see him run a little bit more this year, especially earlier in the season as those new wide receivers get comfortable in the offense. But Northrop and Concordia, sneaky good. I think, you got to be ready every week to play those two teams. I think year 3 with Jason Dorfler at Northrop, they'll start taking some strides. And Concordia is always, a little sneaky good. Peterson, Kurligren, and Peter Morrison, I think, a very good running back quarterback combo. I think they can surprise some teams too.
Had it not been for Mr. Sparks, I think Peter Morrison would have been a starter last year. I think he's going to be a good quarterback.
Yeah, definitely.
Final question, any one specific thing you're looking forward to about week 1 of the season other than getting the season started?
I think it's just, man, we get to finally see these teams on the field. You know, we spend, you know, the off season looking at 7-on-7s and camps, and you're just trying to figure out what these teams have, but you just don't know until the first Friday night. You know, you mentioned Belmont and Adams Central. Who would have known that would have been one of the best games against 2 of the best teams in the area last year? So it's very tough to predict things in the area and in all the local conferences. It's just finally we can see these teams play, and either they're going to make us look good or make us look pretty bad, which is not very hard to do.
You know, as you said, it's difficult to predict, but yet we will do it. We'll do
try.
it for you, everyone out there in cyberspace. We'll be here every Monday, Monday morning quarterbacks essentially here on Inside the Zone, previewing the big games of every week to come. He's Justin, I'm Glenn, and we'll see you again for week 2.